Because being in your own proper person means that you do not need a caretaker. You do not need a babysitter.
Warden.
You do not need a warden. Right? To be in one's own proper person, you declare your nationality. But you're being in your own proper person and having nationality there has to be land or estate tied to it. So Chinese are going to come here and say Chinese American, right? Land, China, right? One's own proper person. African American, African Canadian. And that's the difference. Which land?
Never understood that either.
Well, you're not being specific as to what land. So when you say Moorish American, when we say Moorish American, the land we're referring to is the world. Because Moor means land. And then mooring means to dock a boat. So if docking a boat is called moor, which is water, and then where you're docking the boat is called moor, and then the individual who's docking the boat is called moor, who has more jurisdiction than that to have a claim of being something? Trinidadian can't make that claim. Jamaican can't make that claim. Caribbean can't make that claim. Arawak can't make that claim. Carib can't make that claim. African can't make that claim. In order to get from the water to the land, to the land to the water, you have to deal with more. More is there. It's present. So that should be validation and verification of the importance of more to people when they hear more. Not, well, I saw on the news that, well, she did to try to claim a house and she got arrested, and, well, those guys got arrested because they had their own plates, and that's not what more is about. If you want to understand what this is the perspective that it should be looked at. That, hey, land means more, water means more, and there's people called Moors. There's fish called Moors. There's plants called Moors.
This place is called Moors in England.
Right? Right? So, if it's that obvious, we're not just talking about people called Moors, we're talking about other stuff called Moors. It should qualify the importance of what being in our proper person as more is, and what it does doing that. And, you know, like we said a few other times, it should be line up going around the corner for this information.
And it's free.
and it's free. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay for parking here.
That's a sugar. Oh, it's just the people, their minds are twisted.
Right?
It's a wicked thing.
And that's where our people are at.
Yeah.
This is why, you know, again, our thing is to get this information to people who are vibrating on this frequency. Because if they're not on this frequency, this information is useless to them.
Or can you try and like maybe go from the point of view of their parents or someone in the household to start passing it down?
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, with this information, as far as like when you're reprogramming or learning, what you have to consider is that this whole movement's a divine and national movement. So as a Moor coming into this, you deal with the divine aspect first. And as far as when you learn about impropriate persona, civility mortus, these are words that you have to internalize and become that. Because you become what you know, you are what you know, right? Self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So if you say you're a Moor, I cannot come and tell you otherwise, because that's who you say you are. So right there and then, when you're in impropriate persona, no one can move you to be something you're not, because that's who you are. So it's something that goes hand in hand with that whole nationality subject. What the Prophet brought us, divine and nationality. It's not nationality only, a divine. They're one together, you know, yin and yang. So when we're relearning those things, and when you're going through it, you know, as far as this is how you make the officials, I guess you could say the de facto government realize that this is who I am. And if you say you are that, or if we say we are that, they cannot tell us otherwise.
And if they tell you otherwise, it's only going to be under force of arms.
Because we're under our
We should let you know, where they're at. If you're going to say, UN Declaration says that, I have a right to a nationality, my nationality is whatever. And they're like, you're not trying to hear that or whatever. You already know that these people are criminals and tread lightly. Because they're the ones with the guns and the buttons and the jails and all that stuff. And we don't even have a convenience store in our community that we own.
That's sad.
We didn't want to prep our house.
Right? And then speaking about, shouldn't we tell the other head people so they can tell the other people what's going on? Unity Summit #2. So
I watched it.
Yeah.
I was
So we
angry. I
did,
was getting angry.
right?
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Canaanland Moors asked the conscious community, why not proclaim your nationality? August 6, 2016, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., Oakdale Community Center, 350 Grand Ravine Drive, Room 2. For the second one. But the first one, we had to let people vent, right?
Didn't do any good.
For them, they got to get it out, right? And they can't say that we didn't let them get it out.
I'm trying to understand. What is the block? What do you think is the block in their head? What is wrong with them? What?
It's just European psychology, thinking like the European. So if we have a 50 billion year history, right? As a people, but we're thinking like we have a 6,000-year-old history, then our moving forward, whether mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever like that, is going to be distorted.
But I'm sure when they were back home in whatever island, I'm sure they weren't that dumb.
Yeah, no, I come from islands.
And till they came here.
Yeah, exactly. Come back to the same thing that you're talking about.
And excuse my language, but they're really dumb.
Yeah. But it's only here.
It's only here.
It's only here.
And I don't understand it.
And again, we have the fact that there's a book, one of the Moors in Cali did a video about Islam for Dummies. And then how they have the books you know, computers for
Mhm,
dummies,
yeah.
blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So they have one, Islam for dummies. For all the people who think, you know, all Islamic terrorists and whatever
Yeah.
like that, stupid people.
Yep.
In that book, it tells them that in America, Noble Drew Ali is the founder of Islam here. Like, he's the one that brought this concept of Islam amongst people who are classified as Negro black colored so that they can learn what true Islam is, because they didn't know what true Islam was.
Yep.
He's the first individual to do that. That's what they say. That's not our people or whatever.
Is that book, is the guy from Calgary?
No, California. He didn't write the
Yes.
book.
Okay.
He didn't write the book.
Okay.
Yeah, but the one from Calgary, he's out of here too,
Yeah.
right? Because you know you can't get away from the foundation of Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah.
You can't, because he's the founder. Like, how are you not going to recognize the guy who taught everybody?
Exactly.
But you're going to recognize everybody.
Yeah.
And then when you ask them, hey, what Noble Drew Ali? Oh no, he's just black guy and like that. Man. That ain't what he came for.
They keep trying to build a house with the cornerstone.
Yeah. And it's always going to fall down. Always. Because as much as we put the information out, as much as the information is out there, people go on their phone and information just like that, they can get information.
Yeah.
Like proper relative information to their life or whatever, right? What's the block in their brain? Because they're thinking like 6,000-year-old people instead of like billion-year-old people. So you're gonna have them wanting McDonald's in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fight for it.
Yeah.
They want grapes in Trinidad
Instead of mangoes, right?
instead of mango and papa and whatever else that they got. You know? And then gonna look at other people and blame them when it's really our stupidity for listening to people who, you know, in code, they drop certain stuff, you know what I mean? Put it out. In code, they put it out. We're supposed to be founders of civilization. You can't pick up on these codes. Dudes wearing fezzes under turbans and stuff like that. You don't recognize that these guys trying to tell you something? Beyonce come out with the dude with the fez in the video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whoever else came out, all these TV shows, all these movies, cartoons, you name it, everybody. You know what I mean? Doctor Who didn't come something until he got the fez on. Like, everything's out there. Trying to draw these people to recognize, you know what I mean, what this is about. This is not some religious cult. This is not come pray, Moorish praying, because, you know, we found our forefathers and then we pray this way instead of, you know,
Oh my
doing
gosh.
this. That's not what this is about. This is about us raising our mentality so that we can raise our vibration, so that we can change the atmosphere around us. Because we are masters of our own destiny. And you are what you will. And you are what you will not. So if you will not, then ain't no will going on. And that's what it is. And then those, like we said, who are on the plane of raising their vibration, they're doing something other than downtown wearing out sneakers today. Just because. Or getting the new sneakers or whatever like that, get stepped on all day. So, like, what's the, like, just wear the old sneakers since the walkers, a million people gonna be down there or whatever like that. You really gonna get away with white sneakers at Caravan? That you just spent 200 or whatever like that? Talking about white man and all that? Well, you spent 200 on some sneakers to go to Caravan and get stepped on all day.